One. What's good, y'all? How you guys are doing? This is the Real Neighborhood News. Please make sure you guys head over to our YouTube channel where, you can comment. We'll read all your comments off of YouTube, whatever. So it's glad you guys are commenting on Facebook, but we want to usher our crowd over to YouTube. That's where we show our love at. You know what I'm saying? Here where we share and we just, have community, okay? You don't talk over the person when you stand in the pulpit, okay? That's Facebook. Okay, you want to talk to the pastor, you go to YouTube, right? Nah, I'm just kidding, y'all. So shout out to Horizon Science Academy. You ain't cool if you don't go to that school. Shout out to our sponsors. If you hungry for breakfast, you go to Sheik's. For lunch, you go to Agnes All Natural Grill. If you ever injured in an accident, contact attorney Michael Wright. Shoparea.com. They're like the baby Amazon. Deliveries are free from the store to your door in 4 business days. As you can see, SMED ain't here. It's his fault. All right, so I'm mad at me. He mad at SMED. You want to get lit a little bit, make sure you contact my man Antoine Cunningham on Facebook, Kiara Wine, t-shirtking247.com, Go For Your Mouth, Camera King Studios, Dash Resource. You guys already know. You probably heard this spiel a bunch of times. Man, Smith, he does that, okay? What I do is talk to the people. So what we're here to do is talk to the people, man. How are y'all doing today on this fine afternoon?
Wonderful.
Doing
wonderful.
good. Bless.
You guys all look amazing as usual, as the rock stars you guys are. So let's talk about this block party that is coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, we are having a block party.
Yes.
Okay, and it's Saturday, September the 17th, from 11 to 5 p.m. And it's located at the Oasis Agricultural Center, located at 40 South Decker Avenue in Dayton. Off in West 3rd Street.
Okay.
Okay, and who are we?
Yes.
Who's the people that's giving it? Glad you asked.
Yes. Exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
Who's gonna be at the block party?
Right. We are Sisterbaby Solutions, Sisterbaby Community Solutions, and the reason that we're giving block party, because block parties are fun.
Absolutely.
Right? Block parties are a way to get to know each other, to get to meet other people, and to get to share information. Peanut, information like about health, life, what's important in and around our communities. Okay? And so we're going to be having dozens of dynamic speakers based on men's and women's mental health. Correct. We're going to be touching on things that how yoga benefits you.
Yes.
Right. Voting, which is very important in our community, people. So that's something that we must focus in on. Running our own businesses, how to obtain resources.
Yes. To
run our own businesses. We're also going to be focusing in on gun safety, and improving our values. From personal values to our financial values.
Wow.
Right. So many topics there to go over. We have each speaker. That's what they do. So if one comes up and they're talking about yoga, trust and believe. That's what they know.
Right.
That's their profession. As the person is telling you about how to gain money for your business, he's a professional and he can guide you in the right direction.
That's amazing. So you also have 2 keynote speakers here with you today. So so we're gonna go to Tony Gibson first with Essential Love, man. For people who've been under a rock or smoking it, right? That's my favorite. That's my favorite one-liner, right? Can you please give somebody like a brief, like a brief introduction of who you are and why did you start Essential Love?
Okay, who am I? I'm Essential Love. And my mission as Essential Love, my mission as Essential Love is to provide self-development and health wellness programs to transition boys to men. What got me into this is all personal things that I've been through personally. I found myself in a downward spiral a few years ago in depression due to life circumstances and, being a young family man. And, if we go even before that, childhood traumas. Right. I also realized that I was going through something, but I wasn't really to face it. So I guess when I was backed up into that corner and I was forced to look at myself into the mirror one day, which I tried several times before that, but I knew what was in the mirror, what's going to be seen in the mirror. So I ran from the mirror. But after being in my situation for so long, I had to face off with the mirror. realized I had some issues, realized that I didn't know it all, realized that I needed some help, realized that it was okay to go talk to someone. So I made that happen, and after going to speak to someone, I realized that was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Wow.
So after realizing that and going through that, I put myself on a journey to just be more positive within myself, forgiving myself for a lot of mistakes that I made in my past, because mistakes, not willing to forgive yourself, and fears will hold you back from progress. So once I realized all that, you know, I took that step forward, and I haven't looked back since. So now that I'm in a better state of mind, I'm loving myself, because that's something that I did not understand. And that's what I will be talking on tomorrow at the block party. The power through, and let me see, finding my power through self-love, because I had no power because I didn't love myself.
Wow.
So some of the things, all of the things that I was going through, I had that victim mentality, blaming other people for the things that I was in control of or responsible for. So I want to let people know that it's okay, first of all, to be going through something.
Yes.
It's okay. And then after you realize that, it's okay to make that change and do better. And that's why I want to teach and show through my own personal experience.
Okay. What is the you know, how important is accountability when it comes to, you know, looking in the mirror?
That's one of my key words I want to share tomorrow. Accountability is most definitely one of the most. It's a lot of important keys, but that is one of them. Because if you're not willing to be honest with yourself, then there's no going forward.
Right.
So having accountability is most definitely important.
Right.
Yeah. Without accountability, there's no growth.
There we go. There we go. So, Mr. Mohammed, man,
Yes.
superstar, man, rock star, man, rock star, right? So tell the people about, you know, a little bit of your background for the people who don't know, which I don't, probably one person that don't know you by now. Give them a little bit of your backstory and why your movement is so important to you.
All right, then. So my name is Steve Mohammed. A member of the Nation of Islam. I formed Knowledge for Life back in the late 90s, around 97. Knowledge for Life is a nonprofit organization, and what we strive to do is we try to, you know, W.E.B. Du Bois talked about the talented 10th, right? But we want to connect the talented 10th, which is only 10%, with the 90%, the masses of the people. So what we do is we ask for Black professionals, mental health professionals, physical, nutritional health professionals, and we bring them together either as a single speaker or in a forum setting, and we stream it. And what makes Knowledge Cipher, the conferences that we call them Knowledge Cipher, is that the best questions usually come from people who are sitting in the audience.
Yes.
Who are watching, you know, via the live stream, because they have the serious issues. They want questions to what is really ailing them. So we put these conferences on once a month, where of course we're going to take a divergence from that, and we're going to have a tech conference.
I cannot wait.
Yes,
you invited me. I'll be
conference there. Because our people really need to know about technology.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're falling so far behind that a lot of stuff is becoming automated, and in the factories it's robotics, so human labor is all become obsolete. So we have to really begin to step it up in those areas. But I'm looking forward to this powerful block party.
Absolutely.
Awareness of health. You know, health is wealth.
Yes.
That's where our wealth is. Our wealth is in our health. And we need, as a people, to go back to the land.
Yes.
There shouldn't be one Black church that doesn't have a community garden.
True.
Because we're seeing food inflation. So even if we can purchase food, it's so astronomical that it's hurting our pockets. So we really need to.
Man, it's actually cheaper to go out to eat nowadays. Ain't that weird?
Crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
So let's go over some of the things. I'm gonna actually play the video so you know, like the audience can see this as well. So I'm about to go over the video right now. You guys won't be here the audio, but the people at home will.
All right.
Gotcha.
Come on now, don't make a liar out of me.
Watch again.
There we go. Come on. Hey, watch again. How many times I got to press watch again? Here we
There it
So
goes.
try to watch the beginning.
We only got 6 people to like it. Oh, we got 12. Sure.
Ooh wee.
Yeah.
You had me at chicken,
You
baby.
gotta put the chicken in there.
So, on this piece, right? So, tell us a little bit more about your organization and why it's so vital for the community.
Okay, so a lot about my organization. Okay.
Well,
So-
tell me a lot about your organization.
I'll do that.
I like that.
So basically, this organization got started from, like we were just discussing earlier. If you do a little bit, then everybody else don't have to do a lot,
Yeah.
right? So of course, as I'm going through our community, I'm seeing issues with the trash and the plighted buildings, and it just bothered me,
Yes.
right? So I called a couple of friends. Make a long story short, Sisterbaby Solution formed. Upon my venture, basically I realized that there are many organizations that are actually doing this very thing.
Yes.
So then Sisterbaby Solutions had to repivot, right? Repivot, because why are we keep going out doing the same thing and getting the same results, right? We have to continue to repeat ourselves to keep the communities clean and to bring awareness to this. So then this is where we end up going over into the behavioral issues and the mental issues,
Yes.
and the financial issues. And so it's deeper than just the trash that we're picking up, or the trying to clear up the buildings and the fields. It's about self-love, right?
Yes.
About understanding that we are worthy to have a place that we feel not only safe and it's clean, and it's who we are as a people. So once we understand that we are worthy, we don't care if they choose to redline our community. We don't care if they choose. Well, let me rephrase that.
yeah.
We care.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I say there's
We
always an
care.
element of wait a
Yeah,
minute.
Okay, wait a minute. We care. But they have chosen to redline our areas. They have chosen to put us in food deserts. They have chosen to put us in medical crisis situation, right? It is in fact our responsibility and accountability to make sure that we live in a way that we can be self-sustaining.
Yes.
Okay, like he said, we must learn to grow our own foods. We must accept that we have issues going on, and what can we do ourselves to heal that, right?
Yes.
Because we can promise this, is that no one's going to come over that bridge and save us. We must be willing to save ourselves, to get educated, to be willing to stand up and say, you know what, I can do something. You know, I can keep my area clean. And when we keep our areas clean, when we start dealing with our emotional stress and anxieties in which we deal with, we have the ability to see things in a different light,
I agree.
right? And so it's important that we start, when I see you, instead of saying that dude, blase, all that negative, I'm looking at my king.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a man that is about his business. And even if he ain't about his business, I'm going to still respect him and love him. And the same with that woman, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to start with us. We have to start with self-love and understanding who we are and the power that we have. I'm sure I got off the subject.
No,
so
no.
let me-
No. You did great. I had a couple questions about. Let's see. Over here the here it is here. So the Oasis Agricultural Learning Center.
Yes.
What does that do exactly?
So that teaches us how to grow our food. That's the whole purpose. So it was a full circle thing, right? So we're dealing with all the other issues with the mental imbalances, the finances. And so the Agricultural Center It's a place where we garden, right?
Yes.
That we literally grow our own fruits and vegetables, and it's free of charge.
Really?
Yes, it's right there, up there on Decker, and Brother Mohammed has opened that space for us, and you learn how to grow your own fruits and vegetables,
Wow.
right? Because we are getting ready to deal with a family. I don't know why people don't understand that we're going through a food shortage,
Absolutely.
right? And so if you don't know now, you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
Right.
I'm gonna leave the last part out.
So we have to prepare
Yeah.
for these things, and I would be the first to say, I don't want to break a nail. I'll get over my nails because my nails ain't gonna feed me. Right.
Right.
I need to eat.
Right.
I need to understand what's happening. That's why it's important that we get informed. We, when it comes to these block parties, even when it comes to our news, when it comes to, people watch the darndest thing online, right? But the most important thing, right, is how to prepare yourselves, right? And this is where we as a people fall short, unfortunately, because we are ill prepared,
Right.
right? And if something isn't broke for another group of people, why fix it? But ours is broke, and we definitely need to fix it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, what are some of the tools to repair ourselves emotionally? Because like a lot of times we are like emotional beings, right? I mean, one thing I fall into the line when it comes to like the financial services is when I talk to people about their, like their plus and their minuses, right? People don't buy stuff just because it's logical. You know what I mean? Like they buy it based off emotion. Like they know they could buy a whole case of water, but then while they're at the store, they'll buy one that's costs more than the whole case, right?
I don't get it.
Well, it's because like we don't think logically, right? So how can we fix things emotionally? I'm gonna start with Tony first because that's the expertise he's in. On the love side, like emotional side, on the relationship side, how do we fix that? What are some of the easy ways of fixing that?
Well, we have to change our mindset for first and foremost. That's what it is. From childhood, we've been brought up to, whether if it's like going to church, church is the way, or whether instead of putting it on the church, what faith to believe in, or the things that we may have seen our parents do. It's just from repetition, So therefore, what my mom did, I'm going to do, the way my mom had prepared it, I'm going to prepare it. But sometimes it's okay to do that. It's okay to do it for the recipe. But bringing up the family, bringing up the child, you have to change that structure. Not saying that it was my home, because it truly wasn't. Most definitely my home could have had a little more love in my home. But in homes today, with like we was talking earlier, the parents they're younger now. The stress levels are lower. So you shut up, sit down. Profanity towards the kids. Basically, that's where it all starts at.
Wow.
From a young age. That's trauma. They don't understand what's happening, what they're doing to that kid, So changing the mindset of the things that you may have went through, and for a fact that it did not work for you, they need to be changed.
Right.
And then if we don't know how to change or what to change, then we have resources and people out here. We gather ourselves around people that can be a mentor to us, something that we can see like, okay, I can pick their brain and teach me something.
Yeah.
But we have to make ourselves available.
There we go.
Whether and this source right here, YouTube is our best friend.
Yeah.
We can use it for the bad. We can use it for the good.
Yep.
How can I learn this? What is this or what is that? So
YouTube University is what I call
no
it.
doubt. So I would say the change of mindset is key.
Okay. Added point.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying added point.
Added point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
excellent.
So, Catherine, would you like to add a point to what he said?
Add a point to what he says. I am totally in agreement with Brother Anthony, right?
Thank you, Fred McIntosh, for checking in.
Yeah, it's about mindset. It has to start with us, right? And I did share that information with him when I was having one of those moments where we'll talk about our age group, right? So we had our children at a certain age,
Yes.
right? And when we had our children may have had their children, because I'm not old enough that I am a grandmother, right?
Yeah.
And so my daughter may have had her child at maybe a little bit younger than I did,
Yeah.
right? And then their children happen to have a 14-year-old gets pregnant,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And a 14-year-old having a child. Now, hey, what's the mindset of a 14-year-old child?
Right.
Baby, you still a baby,
Right.
right? So how can you teach a baby
Mm.
when you haven't even lived life to understand how life even works?
Wow.
Right. So these are the issues, and it was a story, and I'm sure you're familiar with. Back many years ago, I think it was the 24-year-old grandmother. You remember hearing about that?
Yeah, I remember.
Many
Yeah.
years. Now, that right there is
Wow.
the type of things that we deal with. Now, how do you change the mindset of someone that's still, first and foremost, children are maturing, right? And men take a little bit longer than women. So
Yeah.
no offense, guys.
It's
but-
all good.
Hey,
but-
I got many bumps on my head from hitting against stuff.
and so how do a child teach a child to teach a child?
Right.
How
Wow.
do we get through that? You know, how do we get them to understand, okay, the madness is here, people, but we should never lose hope, because even when they don't listen to us, they hear us,
Right.
right? They may not pay attention to what we're saying, but yet they kind of hear us. It's our job, it is our responsibility to continue to push that message, to continue to push the love, continue to push the respect. They're called Generation Z. This is the generation in which we're with, right? And they're saying is this: y'all don't listen to us, right? Y'all don't respect us. Y'all just tell us, go do what I say, right? But they say they have a voice, and they want to be heard, and they want to be respected too. Now, logically, honestly, I'm at an age where I'm like, you're a kid.
Right. Exactly.
Right? That's me, right?
I mean, like we grew up with a child staying in a child's place, right? So
Right.
you know what I mean? Like when like my parents would have people over, it wasn't no kids all running around. Y'all, you feel me? Y'all go
Right.
to one room in the house, y'all go upstairs. Ain't no hang. But
Right.
We
nowadays,
went around growing folk conversation.
yeah, like the game done got flipped. But go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it is.
No,
It,
you're
it's
fine,
yeah.
because you're right. That's our mindset. That's us, right? But we're in a whole new generation. We're in a whole new era. Y'all were just talking about tech, right? Now just think about it. Your children, if they're 2 and 3 years old, they're picking up these cell phones,
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah,
These children, these young people, right? They're beyond us. And so when we say just what you just said, they looking at you crazy,
right.
Because you know what? They do have a lot to say. Believe you me, this is one of the most smartest, the most powerfulest generation that we're going to encounter for a minute.
They fearless. I'll give them
They
that.
are
They are fearless. That's one thing I will
Understand.
put in their back pocket. They are fearless.
Right.
Let me tell you. And guess what? Guess how they express themselves? They express themselves through spoken word. They express themselves through music. They express themselves through writing. And if you just take a moment to just hear them, they'll just sit and talk to you, right? Because they want to be heard, right? That's their problem. That's why they're so angry. That's why they say we don't have nowhere to go, and nobody ever listens to us. But it is our responsibility to listen to them, right? Because I done talked to some really intelligent young people, and they are powerful, and they do have a lot to say. So that's part of the thing too.
So you know, even though we have younger parents, right? You got, you know, younger mom, younger dad, right? I remember in them little exercises, say 2 heads are better than one, right? So how do we repair the family structure to make it where at least if it's one knucklehead running it, it's a bad idea. You got 2 knuckleheads, maybe y'all got half and half, and y'all can figure it out.
Right.
So how do we repair the family structure, Mr. Mohammed?
I would say, like Bob Marley said, we need to recapture our culture, right? See, our culture is how you perceive reality, right? A culture is a code of conduct that people in the community have with each other. No culture is self-destructive, right?
Wow.
There's no culture that is a culture that degrades its woman. There's no culture that talks about your brother being your enemy. That culture is an alien culture. And that's what we need to recognize. We need to recognize our culture, and we need to once again fall in love with self, gain a knowledge of self. It's important for us as a people to know our history, right? Because when we were brought here, we were robbed, as you heard Malcolm say, we were robbed of our name, our language, our religion, and our culture. And see, this is being dictated to us now by an external force.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we're really being programmed. When we watch his television, we're being programmed, And so I think that what we have to do is we have to begin once again to gain a knowledge of ourselves. And when we gain a knowledge of ourselves, then we'll fall in love with self. When you know self, you fall in love with self.
Yes.
And then you can begin to make a community, a common unity, right? You can make a neighborhood.
Bars today, boy.
You
Go
can
ahead, keep going.
you can put the neighbor back in the neighborhood, right? It's not just the hood. Now it's a neighborhood where you have people with common unity, right? And what's that common unity? Well, the basic common denominator is the future of our children, right?
Yes.
We should all be able to agree on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all drink the same water. We all poop in the same pot. You know what I'm saying?
Respect equals love.
Yeah. So when I call you brother Peanut, then I am your children now become my nieces and my nephews.
Exactly.
That's
Right. And so when you call me sister, now my children becomes your nieces and nephews, and that's how. This is what the block party is about. This is about what community is about.
Yes.
This is about what neighborhoods is about. It's about knowing who we are, loving one another, respecting who we are and one another, and just growing and trying to better understand the path that we've all been given. Right. This is my thing is, I don't care how educated you are and how much money you make or how low you are, right? No black person should really be resting at night until we find peace throughout all of our communities, throughout each and every one of us. Because when one suffers, one way or another, we all will suffer.
Right. Like they say, an injustice, injustice against one is injustice against us all.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, Maha Selassie, who is the creator, the owner, operator. I don't know the technical term he uses for the Gem City Marketplace. We had him on the podcast, and he talked about this shared future, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it kind of hit the nail right on the head for me, because it's like, let's say I'm saying I'm going to make a toxic waste dump in my yard. I'm saying it's my yard, do whatever the heck I want to, right? But that's going to seep out into everybody else in the neighborhood, and it's going to kill everybody.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But if you have that shared future, knowing that my life force and my family life force depend on your life force, then it kind of makes more sense. If I'm going around shooting everybody up,
Right.
then I mean, we all can somewhere down the line. I mean,
Right.
we all the same color.
Yeah.
There's a common ancestry
Right.
somewhere.
And so that's been the overall plan of the enemy all along, right? To conquer and divide. And so this conquer and divide, he man, he's so wickedly wise, and he uses more of a psychological warfare. See, we're looking at police brutality. We're looking at him shoot someone down. But we already have been infected because he got this psychological warfare going on. So when we listen to the radio, we don't hear revolutionary music. We're hearing what he's trying to do is he's trying to program our women to become prostitutes. You see what I'm saying? While he emasculates the man, feminizes the man, makes him docile, you know what I mean? But like you all were saying, what he fears out of this generation coming up is they're fearless. They're what you call the Joshua generation, right? They were disconnected from the ghost spell, right? They don't go to church. They don't believe in no mystery God. You know, what they want, what they see, right? They're not looking for a heaven and a great by and by after they die. They want their They want theirs right now where they're still around, right? This makes them dangerous.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is the same mentality that the enemy had. When he saw something, he wanted it, he took it, right? This generation, they gonna take it, right?
Wow, man.
So that's why we got to protect them, and we got to let them be themselves, but they got to have guidance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Young man for old man for counsel, young man for war. So we can let them do what they got to do. You know what I mean?
We just got to direct that energy, that fearfulness energy into a positive direction.
Exactly.
Right now it's going into a negative direction.
And like Sister Catherine said, they so beautiful.
Yes.
They look dangerous, but when you talk to them, they're not dangerous
Right.
at all. They just want to be understood, right? And the sad part is that the generations before have not laid a foundation for them. They don't have no future. They don't see no future, right? But little is it that they know that their future is better than the future of the oppressor, because his world is coming down. And while his is going down, the Bible says that God will make the bottom rail the top and the top the bottom. And that's what's going on today.
So I'm gonna ask y'all about a pressing issue that's been a hot discussion on our podcast as of recently is how come the Democrats don't have to work for our vote, man? How come we just willfully give it up and get the same old results?
You know, I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
But you know, when
they
it
can hide that one.
Hey,
Go for it.
when it comes to voting, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that 90% of us don't even know what we're voting for.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the Democratic Party, which has done no more for the black man than the Republican Party,
Agreed.
both parties are two wings on the same bird. They're two sides. They're two sides of one coin.
You will
right?
find a bigger fan of Mr. Muhammad than me today.
Man.
Okay. Go ahead.
Look, this whole Republican Democrat thing is
Yeah.
good cop, bad cop. We voting for all politics is local, so the local vote you may have a chance.
Yes.
But the national vote, you don't have a snowball chance in hell. Why? Because politics without economics is symbol without substance, right? So when you go up there to the Capitol Hill, they got lobbyists.
Yes.
They got all that money being funded. Black community ain't got no money. Our voice is not even heard.
Right.
But we want to get out and vote because we believe numbers make a change. No, numbers don't make a
The only
change.
number that make a change is the one that's make change. When you take 100 in and
That's
that's right. Change, that's
That's
the
right.
change you get back.
The best thing we can do is pull our resources and make our communities a safe and decent place to live.
There we go.
And so on that, me and him can say that we can agree to disagree. Now,
Okay.
I am a voter, right?
Okay.
I'm a registered
Yeah, I'll
voter.
vote every election. My
At
mama
every
makes sure.
election.
My mama makes sure.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate that. So at the end of the day, right, when we don't vote, you don't really have a voice. Not like you said on the national
Right,
level,
right,
right?
right.
But when we talk about local, right, it is imperative that a lack of knowledge, you will perish.
Right.
You will perish. So it is your responsibility to find out. But it is also the ones that do vote, or the ones that are in the political arena, if you will, is to get out there and to make sure the people do understand. Right. So my thing about voting is this: if you don't vote, then you definitely are shooting yourself in the foot, or you're not going to get ahead, especially when it comes to the election. I mean, to our local politics, right? Because now, I don't know how many people know this, and we're going to put this out there, is that while I was sitting in a city commission meeting, right, when we talk about the police and putting the scanners on the front of their bumpers, right?
Right.
Sitting in that meeting. I was literally sitting in that meeting when they voted that issue, right? And it was 3-5, and they passed it. That every time anybody, don't care, drive past a police car, you being scanned.
Yes.
And not only are you being scanned, all your information is pulled up. Right now, let's say you went to prison or whatever your situation had been, and you have a criminal background or had one, and you've done your time, right? Your information still stays in that system for 30 days. They can follow you. Wherever your vehicle is, they already done, they're monitoring you. Right now, if people were, if you voted, then you could have voted people. I'm not gonna say who voted what. I'm gonna just say it was 3 to 5. Okay, I'm gonna put no politician's name out there.
Right.
But if you're behind voted, or you know what you were voting for, or who you were voting for, if you're voting for a particular politician, right? What do they stand for? Make sure that they're pushing your agenda. Make sure that you understand about how politics work, because it can work for you, but it can also work against you.
Right.
So, but voting is important. I agree with Brother Mohammed on some things. We gel really well, but when it comes to issues like voting, that's a pretty I'm pretty strong on that.
Now I agree.
Bounce it back. Yeah, yeah.
I agree with her. You know, voting, like I said, all politics is local. So local voting, I agree with.
Yes.
But you know, we put a lot of time and energy in getting out the vote. Get out the vote.
And not
Think of
educating the people. We
think
must
well,
educate the
no,
people too.
totally something different. See, the thing is we are thinking inside the box. Get out the vote. Get out. Let's think outside the box. How about we come together, we unify and build another Black Wall Street? If we built, when they built a Black Wall Street, were they worried about going to vote for something from the white man? No, they were building. They were doing for self. You got Chinatowns, you got little Italies, you got little Haitis, you know, all over the country. But when you look at the Black community, you're talking about a ghetto. What's a ghetto? Or you could say that it is actually, you know, we always talk about the colonizers. Well, the Black community in America is a colony. And what is a colony? A colony is where resources and materials and wealth is extracted and nothing's ever put back in. That's the Black community. And so I think that one of the things that we need to begin to focus on is that we have the power and the resources within ourselves. We don't really need to look on the outside because we got brilliance on the inside. We just need to pull together and do something for self.
Right. So, like one thing on the local level, which, you know, I always stand by Angelina Jackson. She actually came to the platform, talked to her, and I bumped into her in places. I'm like, man, you ain't here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say where she's at, but I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it's important that we vote in those type of elections because think about this, right? I'm not saying the other person is a bad candidate, right? I'm not saying the other person is a bad one. But the fact that she can understand in her position of being a judge,
That's right.
can understand where we come from.
Right.
That's the person you will want
Absolutely.
to judge me rightfully, right? I mean, like, even if I make a wrong decision, I should be judged rightfully,
Right.
right? If you're gonna be judged by your peers, why not the judge shouldn't be your peer as well?
Right.
That's right. I agree.
Right.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? And then with the police scanner thing, I'm gonna say this, man. After the police scanner thing went through, the police kind of leave me alone. Because they see I'm always where the heck I'm supposed to be. I'm not doing nothing crazy, nothing erratic. I'm always right. So they kind of leave me alone. And one thing that's kind of positive to it, I mean, which this how they hit it in the language to get more votes. Because like that last hearing vote was on Amber Alerts, if child trafficking, all those little buzzwords like theirs, what kind of wooed it in there. And they always rock us to sleep with something, right?
Right.
So to me, there's positives and negatives to it.
But
But-
that was
As long as they stick more so to the positive.
Right.
But that was a way to sell it, right?
Right.
No.
But the deal is that they may have left you alone, but you have
Brothers and sisters that aren't being left alone.
exactly, and the presence, the police presence, it was always higher in the Black communities, right? So now let's keep this real. You got places that people go that they can ride through these parking lots and pick up your tags.
Yes.
Okay. Now they know exactly where you at. You know where you going. I can find you. Is that not a violation? I mean, if you've done
Definitely
your
is.
time, you've done what you need to do. Leave me the hell alone, please.
Yes.
Let me do my life, right? And so they did that to make it sound good. That's like a salesman saying this
Always.
house is so beautiful and all of this is gorgeous, bling bling. Okay, but don't pay attention to the foundation because it's cracking really bad and pipes might be broke, type of stuff. So everything can be made to be sold, right? It's all about the salesman.
So I want to get you guys taking it, because this is the real neighborhood news. So of course we like to cover topics that are pressing towards our our community. And what you said right there was a perfect caveat. I mean, listen, whenever you want to come back, you come back. Okay, I didn't tell you about this story. Somehow you knew it was coming, right?
Right.
So this is about a woman who was raped, right? They collected DNA from her, for the rape kit test. Later on, it was found that she was involved in a burglary, and they used that DNA to lock her up.
Wow. Crazy.
So let's just play a little bit of this really, really quick.
Can we hear it on
Yeah. Here we go. Make sure I got it up.
After police used her DNA from a 2016 rape kit to arrest her for retail theft 5 years later. The charges were dropped when the San Francisco District Attorney learned that the DNA was obtained from a database that includes samples from alleged victims of sexual assault. Her lawyer, Adante Pointer, is joining us now to talk a little bit more about this case. This is remarkable. So listen, Adante, I want to give people some sort of background because they're going to know that DNA databases have been used to solve crimes. But usually those databases are either, suspect DNA or people who have already been convicted. They're not the DNA of victims. Can you just explain the difference between like the database that was used in this case versus how DNA databases are normally used to solve crimes?
So I'm gonna get y'all reaction out here. So let me wait. Give me 2 seconds. So I bet you turn your mics back on so we ain't have no trouble feedback. And all right, boom. All right, got y'all back. So let me get y'all reactions.
And that. See, proves my point. Right. They make it sound good in the beginning, right? Or they try to sell that to you, right? Now, don't get it twisted because I think there's always pros and cons to everything.
Yes.
Right. But at the end of the day, how are you using this information that you're obtaining? Why do you have to feel like, what was wrong with it's bad enough we have to deal with the speeding lights that's predominantly in the black community.
That burns me up.
Okay, and wait, they done got really good at it now because they can literally move them now. Right?
Yeah.
They're mobile. So you may have them somewhere one day and thinking you still dealing with it.
They shorter.
And then you turn around and that same one may be in a whole nother section, right? So they move them. That's one. Two. So now you got, if I bypass an officer, they got the right to scan my tags, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. You got the right to scan my tags. And if I have had problems in my past, you mean to tell me my information is going to come up on your screen? And now, wait, my car is tagged. That everywhere I go, grocery store, girlfriend, better not go cop no weed, people. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Better not go no drug out. Okay, so at the end of the day, right, you are tagged. You have just been violated. Your rights, right, have been violated. Who has the right to do that? Right, and that's not okay. This is a part of what Brother Mohammed is always talking about when we talk about the system and how things is working. What man?
Government oversight.
Right.
It's a technical term. Government oversight.
So at the end of the day, and it'll go back to the voting, right? And it'll go back to knowledge is power. And I know we've been hearing that for a long time, but these are all facts, people. We cannot get around not knowing, right? I used to say, it's okay not to know, but my problem is continuing not to know. You got to know to grow, right? And so You got to get out there. You got to come to things like this where we got information. You got to tap in to your resource, Peanut. You have to tap into Brother Anthony and Brother Mohammed and even Brother Donald, the Black Panther. You got to tap into people, like Angela. We are here. We are all here. We're sitting right here in this very building, and each and every one of us are resources.
Absolutely.
Right? And we can, if we don't have the resources on hand, we 9 times out of 10 have the information to get to that resource. So this is how we go back to becoming neighborhoods and communities, right? A community is to bring people, to have people together that has the same common goals or the same commonalities, right? That's what community is about.
So speaking of which, to bring it on home, let's talk about the community event we got going on this Saturday. I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce it one last time before we get up out of here.
Okay, great. So once again, we're having the awareness of health block party at the Oasis Agricultural Center located at 40 South Decker. Off of the West 3rd Street, Saturday, September the 17th from 11 to 5, where we will be having many speakers. We also have people providing free food.
Free food.
Yes.
Say free food. Hashtag free food.
Right. And so we can give
Chicken.
thanks. Right?
Yeah. Hashtag
We
chicken.
can give thanks to the House of Bread and
Right.
Cornell Market for providing healthy foods. We will have bouncy houses. We will have painting for children.
Angel Walker.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah,
I love Angel Walker.
Yeah.
Love her.
So we're gonna do that, and then we want to thank, because we also have sponsors.
There we go.
Okay. So we want to take the time out to thank people for helping sponsor this, like Caring Hands Home Health that's out on Grafton. We have Oasis Agricultural Learning Center, where we will be, in fact, hosting it. We have Knowledge for Life. We have the new Black Panther Party. We have Early Vision Learning Center. We have Hope, which stands for Helping Other People Everywhere.
I like that.
And of course, Sisterbaby Solutions. And we like to thank our speakers. And we were not going to name all of them, but we got Brother Anthony here and Brother Mohammed here, just to name a couple. But we have a plethora of information, right? It's all free.
Come and receive.
And come receive it. We're here for you. We want to help. We want to do our little bit, right? And this will not be the last time that you hear from us.
There we go.
And for people coming out too, there are going to be raffles. We're going to have some prizes that people can win. So just by them coming out, they might walk away with one of those little portable speakers or a little teddy bear that they can give their loved one, and maybe a few other surprises.
There we go. There we go.
Bring family, bring friends, bring associates.
There we go.
And bring an open mind, an open heart, and let's all come together and let's try to all make a change together. Together we stand, but divided we fall, people. So we must come together.
I'm gonna bring both my kids out there, man.
Hey, we're looking forward to seeing everybody. Just come on out. We're gonna have a good time. Peace, love, and happiness.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention. There
you go. You better not forget to say it.
I better not forget the band. And the band is
some live music.
Our jazzy sound band is True Colors.
True Colors.
True
Okay.
Colors.
Yeah.
So we got True Colors out there doing our band. So we got a band.
There we go.
Bring your lawn chairs. Come, bring your blankets. Come get comfortable. We're gonna have a beautiful day. The sun is gonna be out.
Yes.
Let's go into fall with a bang.
There we go. There we go. Thank you guys for checking in.
Thank you.
The contact for you is 937-701-6116.
Thank you.
SisterBabySolution@gmail.com. www.sisterbabysolutions.com to get in contact with you. I'm Dash Resources, Real Neighborhood News. Thank you guys for checking in. Shout out to our sponsors. Y'all know what they are. But the number one I like to say is Horizon